In the deep, damp mines lay a duo, led astray to wander aimlessly throughout the abandoned caverns, with no will or way, left with only the thoughts that tell the tales of what is lost.
Hello and welcome back to CopperCast podcast, episode 11.
No, this is the same episode of season 1.
One.
And guess what? That's not the case. We're gonna be doing at least a few more of these. But regardless, we are joined here by
Bush
Parker.
did 9/11.
Should we do the thing where we all go around in a circle?
What do you mean by?
And we all introduce each
stop
other
that word?
and just introduce ourselves, like just around the table.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Later21.
I'm known by many names, but most commonly known by Rat or Rosuto.
His name is Peter.
Yeah, I'm Peter.
He's Peter Parker. He lives in New York. He got bit by a radioactive spider in his high school years.
I got bit by a radioactive rat, and I'm a rat.
Why did we bring him?
I don't know.
Why did we do this?
Because you knew you were coming with us on the hike, and then you were like, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, Josue, what's your name, Josue?
Shut up. I guess I ate patches in some manner, and Josue. Yeah.
Don't you mean Patches
You are
666?
Yeah, 666.
And then
There's
we're
3
here with
sixes in
Ethan,
that name.
who doesn't have a name on any social media platform at all.
He's repurses.
Yes.
I don't know. It makes no sense.
Mario.
It's me.
I'm
Mario.
Let's just get
Waluigi.
let's just get this out of the way. It's been a long time since we've had Ethan on here. Last
Bro,
time
did
was
you just
probably
throw my
the
phone?
finale of
vibrate on the
season 1, I think.
Yeah,
It's not on bike.
it's been a hot minute.
Yeah. So we recently just went on a hike.
Oh, a grueling one at that.
Grueling.
It was only really grueling for the three of us who have innate issues with our lungs.
Yeah, and me and Ethan have been biking for the past week.
Carter was just as dead. It was Josue that was sweating.
Yeah, Carter was just as dead, but
Yeah, I was
he didn't
sweating, but I
show
wasn't
it as
out of
much.
it.
Yeah, I know, but
Like-
I've been on that trail a lot of times, and I've been in the scouts, and we always do hikes and stuff, so it's just kind of used to that.
I'm actually
environment.
still wet from the hike.
Yeah, Josue looked
Oh
like
yeah, let's get into that
Play the clip.
later.
Play the clip.
Oh yeah.
Just kidding, not yet. We're not talking about it yet.
Yeah, okay, so we went to a place, a canyon in our area that had a cool waterfall at the end of the trail, and we're just
Adams Canyon.
like, hey, let's be epic. Let's go up.
Let's go and climb it.
Yeah.
It was originally my idea. I was at Ethan's house, and I was just like, yeah, I want to do something. So I, just said, hey, want to do a hike on Friday with
The
with
world's
Josue.
going to shit. We got to get our friends back together, and
Yeah,
do
it's
something
finally a
fun.
soft quarantine back again.
Yeah.
How else are we gonna do a circle jerk if the crew's not together?
Yeah,
That's
I know.
true.
Yeah.
Here, Ethan, get a little bit
Yeah.
closer.
Get closer to the mic, man.
Lean in like you're sucking dick.
Use the big talking voice you have.
Hello, my
So,
brother.
wait, what did you say?
Use that
What?
big
monkey.
talking voice.
Something about jerking people off. What did you
Oh
say?
yeah, I said
circle
you
jerk.
can't have a circle jerk without the group.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't have a circle jerk by yourself. It's just called jerking off.
You know
Yeah.
the game Soggy Cracker where everyone's
Shut up, no.
It's
No,
and the last
there's-
person.
There's several names of it.
There's soggy biscuit as well. That's what I've
the
known
last
about.
person to not eat the biscuit covered in everyone else's nut.
Yeah.
Would you eat
It's
that
almost
biscuit?
like punishing someone for being longer at sex.
I could win that game.
I can't. I'm not. It's not working.
And by win,
More
I mean win
power!
on my terms. Of course I'd lose.
Yeah.
Hey.
So
When's TF2 gonna get fixed?
I don't know.
Never. It's TF2. What do you think's gonna happen?
I don't know.
Why would
That's like the
someone-
only game me and Ethan
Who
been
leaked
playing.
the source code? So
R.I.P. the voice actor for Soldier. He
Oh,
died.
yeah, he died recently.
Salute to him.
as a
Rick
good
May.
soldier.
Remember, son, dying is gay.
And then that little
Maggots.
Yeah.
the baby heavy is sitting there going.
It's a good.
You don't know what's happened there, but I did a face. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. So what is everyone?
Who touched?
Actually, wait. We haven't gotten into this.
This
Okay,
fucking
so
video.
the waterfall in the hike. So
It was really wet.
it was really cool.
It was really
There's a
aroused.
stream like halfway into like the entire
Mother Nature was ready for us.
trail, and we were just like crossing through it like several times, getting our feet wet.
I didn't. 'Cause I'm smart.
Oh, wow, you're so smart.
And
Well, I'm smart because I know how to not step in the water.
Shut up, you're a bitch. You
We're
didn't
also
wanna get
getting
wet.
Alright, that's
our
true.
shoes
I'm
dusty.
like a cat. I don't want to get wet, but I'm also a rat. I like to get wet.
That doesn't
But
make
I-
sense.
Have you
I
seen
like to get
videos
a different
of
kind of
rats?
wet.
Have you seen videos of rats climbing up toilets?
Yeah.
And like going outside the bowl, like that can happen.
It's
Dude, a
called
rat could go
Yeah,
up your
That's
ass.
because I whistled and they're all coming to me.
crawl.
They're wi-
I
Rat
Like a-
power!
Like a
I
South
whistled
Park
and they're all
episode.
I gotta find him. He needs me.
Insert the video of the rat falling down the stairs with a pizza slice.
No,
he's
insert
going- he's
the
going
video
home.
of Filthy Frank putting.
That was when we were having
hamstring sock.
we were having snack night that night, and someone brought pizza, so he was just going home with some pizza.
Yeah.
So yeah, our feet are wet, and we've been crawling through like dust and rocks and just
Dirt and
trees.
mud, water, rocks, you know.
You know, Mother Nature up in the mountains.
Oh, damn mountains.
You know,
We saw a
Mother
few
Nature's
country folk.
tit. We climbed up one. Parker, please don't watch that in the middle of this.
I'm sorry, I love it.
Ambient music
I
starts.
love it too much. Sorry.
We already have music going on in the back.
Speaking of that music, thumbs up to whoever made that music. It's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah, I wonder who that
Good
is.
job.
Sorry, I have a call to take.
All right.
All right, see ya.
We'll see you
All
later.
right, now we can actually focus.
No, we can actually talk.
Now I can take off my nice manly voice and use my real voice.
So, we get up to the mountain, you know, canyon area. We go to the waterfall, and it's epic. It's really cool.
It was
looking.
really nice. It was
It's
very
actually-
refreshing.
I've actually been up there a couple times, and it's actually really pretty. The waterfall just sitting there. I actually thought it was a lot bigger than I thought it would be, but it's still like you can die from that drop, and like
Oh yeah, I made some risky climbs when I was
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
yeah.
If you were on my Instagram, you would have saw them, but you're not probably, sucker.
Yeah, if you watch the CopperCast Adventure episode that I'm gonna be editing for the next week and a half. Yes.
Post the adventure before the podcast.
Yes, I will. No context at all.
There's a lot of ass cheeks.
I mean,
That's
come on,
true.
man. It's probably gonna be the shortest out of every one that I've made.
Well, that's because you didn't have the camera out like you usually do. You kind of had it out.
It's
occasionally.
just
Yeah,
like-
it's because you had to focus more on hiking.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But like, there was this one specific thing that we really wanted to do for just a stupid, joke for this whole thing. And I don't know if the payoff is gonna be good or not. So
All right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it was a good hike nonetheless.
Yeah,
so it'll be a decent
so
video
Josue's,
for
like-
coming back to the scene.
Okay, might as well. Okay, we went to the top of the mountain. It's
Yeah.
hot. Everybody's sweaty. He's like, might as well just go in. I tried to convince everybody else, but everybody else is a
Josue isn't
pussy.
Josue is not wearing like anything underneath his jacket. He's just shirtless. Alright? I don't know if my camera can hear you at all. I'm going shirtless! I got you. Man, there's people there, but I don't give a fuck, right? Okay, this is epic. Oh my god. Oh, he's gonna regret it. Oh, how cold is it? Oh. Oh. Oh, it's so cold. Oh. Oh. I'm sorry. Oh my balls! What's Parker doing? He's sitting there with his ass out. He's just wearing
It's
this
pants and a hood. That's it.
Yeah,
He's
and
wearing his jacket and nothing else, nothing below the belt. He was walking around that trail with his dick flapping out.
Yeah.
It was hot and sexy, and I could not hold on to myself. I'm
6
lucky my
inches
chastity is
Dude,
still intact.
I was probably mostly in the back of the trail while we were
Man, you have
walking
to
up.
edit that out.
Man, I was really hard to control myself. Kept getting a face full of Parker's ass.
I know.
yeah, that's
Parker was
right.
always in the front,
Oh,
so whoever was right behind him was just a face full of Parker's
Yeah,
ass.
the way he climbed is he always had his ass out.
I hope you enjoyed that.
I did.
It was nice.
All of you.
It was nice. Very good.
You know what I really enjoyed?
Nothing.
We
I
know,
guess.
we know what you enjoyed.
So yeah, Josue's just like, all right, I'm gonna go into the waterfall, and he gets
Yeah,
soaking
nobody
wet.
did. I took off my hoodie, ran in, nipples out. and it was deeper
Yeah,
than I thought
I
it would
can
be. It went up
testify.
above my knees, and yeah,
He
it
just
got
went head
drenched.
first. He started running. He's like,
I don't think we're giving enough credit to his nipples. I testify that they are in fact a holy sight.
they are. They're probably the closest
I
that a
didn't-
woman's tits are on a man.
I sadly didn't get a partake. I was busy
Yeah, he was
climbing.
climbing some random
Yeah, he was
shit.
climbing. We
I was
actually
I was
thought they were going
climbing.
to die.
I was climbing, big booty out, you know, enjoying the sun, and I looked over and I missed it, and I was so sad.
Damn.
Yeah, I can't believe you missed his titties.
Yeah, he was climbing up like.
There will be another day.
He
Right
almost
now.
got as tall as
Take
the
your shirt off
waterfall
right now.
itself. He's just climbing over rocks.
I'm cold. I have a scar.
Parker, I didn't ask you.
Such a resounding slap.
I gotta get rid of this.
Jesus!
This is disgusting.
Oh,
Do you have a ring of hair around your nipple?
No.
it's normal, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Carter.
No.
It is.
not.
For some people, it is.
Sometimes they have more, sometimes they don't.
I had one single hair that came out of my nipple.
Let's play don't. I'm gonna act up, please. Please
You
stop
got me
flashing
acting up. Aha, say
for this?
less.
Stop. So now that we're back here, we did the hike today, and we're all just like, my socks are soaking.
I just drank a Dr. Pepper. I'm feeling saucy.
Josue's clothes are probably soaking right now, but not
My pants are
like,
actually getting relatively dry except for my ass.
I bet
Yeah.
you his ball.
You gotta get some of these. These are bamboo socks. These are very nice.
Yeah,
you gotta
bamboo?
Yeah, these are made of bamboo. These are made of bamboo. You should
Oh,
buy some.
neat.
They're smart wood.
Yeah,
They're
you
smart
can
wood.
actually watch bamboo
They're very
grow.
nice.
It grows like 3 inches an hour.
Really?
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
makes
you
sense
did-
why the Vietnamese used it to,
Yeah, a
stab
torture
people.
method. No, it was a
Yeah.
torture method too.
Yeah,
They
these
would just let it
suckers-
grow under them, or the bamboo
under the
traps
nails, yeah.
where they like
These
pull the
suckers
string
keep
and would
the
chop
water
their legs
out.
off.
Have you seen the torture method where they put a person on a? It's not waterboarding, but it does involve water. Like
It drops on their
they
forehead.
they dropped water on their forehead. Actually, I think it was used by
Till
the
they go
Japanese.
nuts.
Yeah, and then like just go insane because it's like you can't touch it, but your body's like, I gotta wipe this off my face,
Just
and there's just water just dripping on their face, and they're just going insane.
No, imagine if it was cum.
No,
It's not torture.
No. What?
Excuse me.
Now, where do they get that much cum, and how do they keep it warm and or cold?
They just keep like a giant dude up there, like a giant sumo
Just
dude.
sumo wrestler. Just
Yeah, like an Asian taking
He's just sitting there going like, I'm gonna pre. I'm gonna pre.
I'm gonna pray.
No, you know that drug that like no, it's not a drug. It's like a condition where like you experience an orgasm like every minute. That's
Oh,
what-
yeah.
They just put some dude up there like that, and he just empties his nuts in there.
He's
It's a
like,
very rare find.
you go up there,
but
he's
okay.
like, hey, what's up? Because he has no nuts, because he keeps fucking blasting them out. He has giant fucking dick, like,
just raisins
shriveled
at that
ass-
point.
Shriveled ass
Yeah.
raisins.
Would you have to get a vasectomy just so you didn't like fill your pants up with nut every day?
I think in that case, you have to get a vasectomy because
Well,
your
you
fucking
can just
balls
spoon
are
out your balls.
I'm
inflamed,
pretty
you're
sure
gonna
you
die.
can still like ejaculate, but I don't think anything like I don't think
Any baby making
sperm
shit.
comes out. I think there is a liquid because it goes through the prostate.
Just pee. It just pee.
But to the balls and then it goes out.
Could you imagine being at like a funeral and you look at the corpse and you just go?
What?
What you mean necrophilia? Just like
No,
being like,
I mean
"Oh."
like imagine having that disease where you just nut like every minute.
I just have
Like
it.
your grandpa's
You just go up to
funeral.
your grandpa like, oh, I miss you so
during
much.
a job interview, just sorry, I've got a condition. It's just like you got.
It's like the
Tourette's or
Joker who has that
Yeah.
uncontrollable
No, it,
laughter.
like, gets worse
It
as
just
you're
goes-
stressed too, so you're like taking a big test and you're just moaning in the back.
something. Fucking ACT like in the gym, just like
Just come dripping down
it's
your
like
leg.
echoing.
The dude's like, sir, you need to leave.
You need to leave. You're cheating.
It's a condition.
This condition, I swear. I'm not this easily aroused, I swear. Massive erection.
Goes through the ceiling. That's
Yeah.
not number 2, I see.
When I was still hanging out with Kate, he referenced a video about this porn star called T-Bone or something. When he nuts, it comes out like a gallon of sperm.
Why does Kay know this?
It's gotta be.
Well, because
like
it's Cade. Like, he
Yeah.
knows about a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, did I ever show you that video you sent me of like the dude
Alien?
raping an alien? Yeah.
You guys are all 18
That
except
kid's
me,
weird.
right?
No.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Ethan,
You
no,
not
Ethan's younger than us
Legally,
all.
I'm 17, but on the internet I'm 22.
Okay.
Well, on the internet, I'm also
Go
23,
through the
so.
like oh, I'm gonna do my Facebook account. What year was I born? 1983.
1980s.
1800.
Oh. Imagine if that's an option. They're like,
You're 234 years old.
Yeah, you got a problem with that?
There's actually a thing like Facebook did recently where they found everybody who had like an age that was beyond the oldest.
Why do they
person's
have the
like,
option for that?
Like they used to have like an option where you could
What,
pick
do
like
they expect
18,
some person like
18,
103 years
like
old?
77 or something. That was like that old, it was like the farthest you could go back, and they took every account that was made at the, you know, the oldest you could be, and they just deleted them. They just wiped them all because they were like, these are all accounts
Yeah,
probably
but
made
what
by
about the
children.
people who actually were that age?
Well, I don't know.
Fuck them.
Do they not equivalent vampires, huh?
They don't. It's Facebook.
Just make a
The
new
one
account,
true
dude, it's
vampire
Facebook.
has to be in the top all the time.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Reminds me of the game of Plague Inc., which is kind of topical to right now. But there's a
No,
setting.
A little
let's
controversial.
not bring up plaguing.
I'm not going to I'm just like there's a cool game mode where you play as a vampire. You also spread disease as the vampire. I actually like that one a
I
lot
always
more.
fuck up that one.
Yeah.
I always get an army and then they're like eradicate.
I love looking at the headlines. It's like vampire cult or something.
I haven't made it past fungal.
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 Yeah, most because I play in the mobile
Yo,
version,
it's
so that stuff's
fungal.
like.
No, I was so cool in junior high. I finished all of them and I would flex to everyone and be like, yo, I'm on the nanovirus. What are you on? Fucking fungus?
How fun is Nanovirus? I know it's like
It's retardedly easy. So they know you've been released, so they immediately start working on the cure, but you spend DNA points to activate abilities, and then you can like just jump for like
and then
hundreds
you
of
hit the
thousands
kill
of people
switch,
at
right?
a
And then you
second.
just
Yeah.
snap.
It's like the
everyone.
bioweapon where you infect everyone, but you have to try really hard not to get any diseases, because like the very first like bioweapon one.
Continue.
The very first
Okay.
bioweapon one like immediately causes everyone to be afraid and die.
Jeez, what are you doing?
think it's dead. No.
He's still moving around. What are you doing?
nighttime.
Josue is.
It's a night fish. It should be active.
So he's putting his hand.
Don't touch it. It's obviously awake.
Josue, what are you doing?
It's dead.
Bro, is it dead?
Are we gonna have a fish funeral right here, right now?
Alright, this seems like a perfect time for an ad read.
We don't
No,
have.
it's alive. It's alive.
Oh,
Scared the shit out.
I guess we'll do one anyway, since I have one prepared.
Josue,
Dude, I thought it was fucking
Dude, you
dead.
probably like got some disease on your hand that fish are like toxic to.
Dude, I
And then you
thought
put your
it was
hand in the
dead.
tank.
No shit, I thought it was dead.
Alright,
grabbed it, you probably
I'm
scared
gonna do a
it.
little improv. Alright. This podcast has been brought to you by Flakes. If you've ever heard of Flakes, then you've heard of their better quality and better price. Get your Flakes today from your local supercenter and enjoy some nice flakes.
What are they flavored?
Oh no, we have a chasing situation going on. What the heck? You broke the stove! Oh man, I wish you guys could see this. Holy cow! There's a big battle happening right now.
What are you doing?
Broke the
I
chair.
tried to defend myself from the stool with flying. Ow.
Thank you, and back to the podcast.
So speaking of like fish dying, like I used to have like me and my friends.
You can see him, right?
Yeah, me, Sam, and Berg, we all used to be like we were quote unquote fish breeders, and we used to
They all died.
we all used to buy fish from Walmart like in like bulk, and we just put them in tanks and stuff to see if they would breed, and they all died because they either killed each other, got disease, or they all just died immediately because we didn't know how to do fish.
Guppy fish. Those things eat each other. I
Yeah.
had an aquarium with 30 fish, a frog, and then like 2 suckers, and the guppies immediately ate each other, so that there was just a male and a female left, and then the female ate the male
Oh.
after getting pregnant.
Oh.
But no, that's not the best part. The frog refused to eat and sat at the top of the tank till he died.
Jeez.
The sucker fish lasted the longest out of everyone.
But did you do battle royale with fish?
No, they all died when one of my smaller goldfish rammed himself into the filter and got himself stuck and died in the filter.
Oh, like Nemo, but he didn't make it out of the filter.
No, yeah, he smacked into the filter and contaminated the water and killed every other fish in the tank.
Talkies on this.
He
man.
literally just went in there,
Like Stevie
decayed, and
noises.
killed every other fish in the tank.
Maybe he was like communicating. Maybe he was like communicating with like the other fish, and they all said, "Do it. If you're going to do it for us."
Do it.
And they all died
Do it.
because of him. And he was like an actual hero to the fish.
Do it.
You like that ASMR? Oh, yeah.
Please don't.
My mouth hurts. ASMR is pretty nice.
Step Bro, what are you doing? That's not white chocolate, that's your dick.
And I used to have a fish named Finley. He was what is it? A molly?
Very creative.
Are mollies and guppies the same thing?
I don't know, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not a fish species expert, but I had a molly. If any fish expert knows what that is. It was yellow and black, and I call him Finley. And
What's white on top? No, wait. What's black on top and white on bottom? Rape.
oh, okay, cool. Nice.
Nice.
No.
No.
Cut that out.
No, don't leave it in. Just put some funny, like, wacky 20s music over it
Just funny
in the
laughing.
background, like later.
Just yeah.
Okay.
So, no, okay, wait. I'm not done yet.
Or send me the
No,
clip.
you're done.
Or send
You're
me the
done.
clip and I'll do
What's
it.
the
You're done.
What's the difference between a bench and a Mexican family?
Oh my gosh.
Everybody already knows this.
One can support a family.
Everybody already knows that.
What's the difference between?
That's the bench one. I'd say the elevator, right? It's the elevator joke.
This is because you're Mexican. Shut up.
For those who actually listen who aren't us, this is a very funny scene that's
I'm laughing
unfolding
too hard
here.
and you're joking me.
Gay. Gay romance.
Oh my god.
Anyways, yeah, so
My fish got a disease that's specific for fish where their swim bladder is affected and it doesn't work. It's called Tempuku disease, and I think it's native to Japanese fish and Asian fish.
I was laughing
And
crying.
coincidentally, all the fish that are in Walmart are from Chinese fish breeding farms where they literally just like inbreed with the fish, and they all have just genetic problems and they're just awful.
Yeah, that's kind of how fish fucking work.
It's like the same with like
Yeah, but
reptiles.
they all die like 5 days afterwards because they're all bootleg
Have you ever
fish from
bought-
China.
It's the same way with reptiles. They have like
from
bone
Petco.
cancer.
Yeah. Every single bearded dragon you can
I'm sorry,
possibly
I'm-
buy
I'm
from Petco has bone cancer.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I got a
I'm sorry,
snake, I got a bearded
bootleg
dragon, and a
fish.
chameleon
Yes,
from there.
bootleg fish
And they all
from
died.
China.
So you're telling me there's on-brand fish?
Yes, there are on-brand like pristine like fish farms in
Just lean back.
like America. They just got like
So you have your great value
free
fish,
roam,
and then you have your
free
fucking
range fish.
you have your fucking like Pepperidge Farms fish,
Just
like
one-
your name brand.
Fish farm, Alaska.
Okay, that's good.
I mean,
That's nice.
we eat fish anyway, so it's like if they die, it's not that much of a inconvenience at all. They're just a little tiny thing.
True.
Plus, like, I hate taking care of fish, both fish and crabs, because they smell awful after you don't clean the tank for a while. And it's such a hassle cleaning the tank because you don't know the right like amount of cleaner to put in the tank, or else it'll kill the fish. So there's that. That's cool. But yeah, that's that. There's my fish rant.
I had 2 fish. One was my sister's. They were goldfish. My fish died 3 months after I got it. My sister's fish came from the same place. It was a birthday party for a neighbor. And her fish, remarkably, lasted... So we lived at a previous house before when she got the fish. We moved to my current house. And then the fish kept going for like... Let's see, if I was... Yeah. So then the fish
What
kept
is happening?
going for like 3 or 4 more years after that.
Foreboding music.
So yeah, like that's the thing about it. That
It's just
fish,
a-
the fish that I had from the same place 3 months, the fish my sister had that was barely even taken care of. I'm not sure how it lasted 7 years, but it lasted 7 years.
Oh shit.
I guess that might have been just a
Geriatric fish.
yeah, geriatric fish. He's got
So-
a little walker in the water. just-
I remember it was kind of funky. You'd like always be shitting.
It's that one old guy
Like, you
from
would always have the
SpongeBob.
shit hanging out
Yeah,
of its ass, and
that guy.
and then you'd like be like, what the. So you tap it, and then the shit would fall down, and then like you come back an hour later, shit was coming out of its ass.
So, still on the fish topic, like,
I have another fish topic too, so.
what is the correct way to bury your fish?
Barry.
You put it.
Quotation mark.
No, you flush it in the toilet.
You clean it up. You give
Like
it a little
if
bit
ceremonial, like
You
if you
eat
want
it.
to do an actual like fish like funeral, what is the best
You
way?
light
You
a
cook it
candle.
and feed it to your children.
You like.
But like that scene in Workaholics where they put all the fish in the pool and they all die. They're like, we're gonna do a fish fry. And they all get like moldy.
That was a
You dig a little hole in your backyard. You slap the fish in there all nice. You give him some dirt covering. After you give him some water.
And the cat eats it.
And then you put the pad over it. Then you put a little cross on it. You say thank you Jesus for this life. And then you go back inside and you eat some chips.
And you forget
I
about Popeye.
buried 5 of my crabs that I used to have. They were.
Do you ever just deep fry like random things in your house?
No, I don't have a deep fryer.
And then you turn the cross upside down and resurrect them.
So I had at least
What?
10 crabs.
Black
They were all
magic
like
or
tiny.
Come,
They were all like tiny little, like I think they were.
plant the seed of life.
I don't know. They weren't.
Hermit.
They weren't hermit crabs. But they were like. I think they were just tiny soft shell crabs.
They were little boys.
And they all were just like shitting on each other and like fighting. And I'm pretty sure they died because they were like having like some dominance problem. But they all died.
Yeah,
The
there's a lot.
tank smelled awful.
Hey Carter, there's a lot of species where it specifically says don't put 2 of them in a tank.
Yeah,
They'll
but
kill each other.
they were male and female, so I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah, so
what
you put 1 male, 1
contributed by it.
female, not 6 males and like 3 females. And
It
have
could have
gang
been
rape
more,
and
but I
they
don't
all
remember.
kill each other.
It was a lot of crabs. It was a lot of crabs in
They all
one
sexed
tank.
it.
And they all attacked.
It turned into a murder orgy.
Back to the the battle royale fish edition.
Battle Royale.
Let's
How to take
get
care of
all
your
let's
pet's
get all aquatic animals together. Put them in a tank and see who survives.
shit. It's a suckerfish, bro. I watched suckerfish like suck the fucking meat off of the bones, bro. It's
You mean like the ones that are algae?
No,
Or
no, I mean the big ones that look like teeny sharks. They
Oh,
just like
the-
suck the bones.
yeah.
They
So
just suck them
I
dry.
all buried those 5 crabs in my front yard. I don't know the specific spots, but
Why?
they're there.
We'll
I'm
be
gonna
able
go
to find
find
the
them.
corpses.
Yeah, we gotta find the corpses and bring it back
I
to
mean,
life.
they're exoskeletons, so.
They'll still
Yeah.
be there. It'd be cool decoration.
Just put it somewhere in my room.
Yeah,
Look
just
at my
put it-
friends
Yeah,
here.
it's got
No,
it's dirt, it's moldy.
No,
it
have you
just
seen the videos of the
smells
guy
like
that
shit.
makes like the crab figurine?
They make the crab.
It looks like a crab robot, and he just like put together crab pieces and glued them
What, he
together.
put a dead crab like
Yeah,
everywhere
yeah.
on a robot? Why would he do that?
I don't know, but you could definitely do that.
That's pretty cool, actually.
They were like this big. I don't think I could do anything.
Yeah, you could have made like a small.
Did you name any of them Mr. Krabs? I swear to God.
No,
Good.
You mean
because that's generic as hell.
That's yeah.
I did name one of them Coco, which was a female, but that's the only one I remember. That's it.
Alright. What's that?
But I think
looks
the
like a coconut.
the ceremonial way to get rid of a fish is,
flush it?
don't flush it. It
Flush
gets serrated.
So
It's gonna die anyway.
It's gonna go
dead
into
anyway.
shit. Okay,
it's literally going back
Dude.
into the ecosystem. Like that's the water.
it's
I'm
getting
gonna drink.
serrated
just-
and killed. And
just say
it's
what-
gonna swim in shit. That's.
It died. It's already
doesn't.
dead.
It doesn't matter. Just say what you're gonna say. What do you think?
I want to bury it. Put a little cross on
Bro.
top of it.
It's a
You're not
fish.
religious.
And then put the
Pray?
put the cross
It's a
upside down and come on it and then resurrect
Yeah, exactly. What you said.
Plant the seed of life.
It's a fucking fish.
Pet cemetery.
All right,
all over again.
what's the correct way of releasing a fish into the wild? You don't flush it.
Throw it into a lake.
You can't even release
What if
that.
it's invasive?
If it's domestic, you
That's
don't
why you make sure it's
release
not invasive.
There is some dude.
Oh, yeah.
who threw all his
The
little
fish I have in there that I
river
thought was
nearby,
dead,
and they're all
it's a
huge.
red-tailed catfish. Those grow up to be 6 feet.
Jeez.
So eventually we're gonna have to let that loose. But there's a lake nearby that has catfish. So
Yeah, I saw there's a
Probably
video of
dies.
just a lake with just
do.
like 100,000 like
I don't wanna deal
goldfish
with
just
that.
breeding
6
because
feet long,
they've
you
been
just fish it
specifically
in.
bred
bigger than that.
to just have babies
Bigger than 6 feet.
It's actually eating the other goldfish.
just fast. Yeah.
Yeah,
we
I
put
told you,
we
it's
put
a
little
sucker
goldfish in there, so then the fish eats it because he doesn't like
So
eating the fish
I'm
food.
not sure if you
Yeah.
heard about this.
Yeah,
But
those little sucker
There was
fish
this
are
guy
Except that goldfish
who
got big,
had
so
like a
you cannot eat it.
whole tank of a
Yeah.
goldfish that he didn't eat anymore. So he hiked out to this river in the middle of like. So we're pretty close to an area that's just like nothing. There's nothing out there. So we went to a river out there, and he put the fish in the river. And I went out there at one point to do like a service cleanup project, clean like litter out of that river.
What are you looking at?
The fish were still there. Those goldfish, they're like they're old now. They're like
Hey,
8,
hey,
9, 10
hey.
years old,
Hey,
and they're
Hey.
huge. Like they're like normal tank goldfish, and they're massive.
you want to hear a funny story?
But
I bought a science kit that had 2 giant packets full of preserved shrimp eggs, kind of like sea monkeys, where you put them in the water.
oh, you mean
and they
like
come
the
back
sea
out.
monkey? Yeah, those die really quick,
Yeah,
very quick.
Here's the problem. I was just fucking around, and my friend had a jar of like water.
Speaking to the mic.
Here, come over here.
So my friend had a jar of the lake water, and so I poured a whole packet into it because I was like, oh,
Lake water?
this will be fun. No, a whole packet of eggs. Like
Oh.
every little like grain was like an egg, and it was like
Yeah.
a fat packet of just like hundreds of thousands of eggs, right? Yeah. Okay. I put them all in the jar, and we were like, we're gonna do a science experiment because the food's in the packet too, so we're just gonna see how many would survive. And he forgot about the jar in the garage for like a week. And we went back, and it's just like hundreds of corpses corpses just piled on top of each other. Like they all hatched and died immediately, and it was just like this big, like fat chunk of just hundreds of dead, like
Their
small
civilization advanced too quickly, and they found nuclear bombs and killed each other.
It was like
That's what happened.
It was like a civil war.
They released a neurotoxin into the water, using the food they had available to them.
That's
The
the aquatic
eggshells.
version of nuclear bombs is neurotoxin in the
I
water.
bet you they just shit too much and then it contaminated the water. And
Yeah.
they died.
We have native, basically, sea monkeys, a brine shrimp, native brine shrimp in the Salt Lake.
Oh,
You know,
so
that's
much
the only
money
thing
they-
I
When you
can
say
offer
sea
that.
monkeys, I think of Subnautica Below Zero because those things are cute as fuck.
Yeah, they're
Should
just
they
like
steal your
monkeys
shit?
with like tails, like octopus tails.
Yeah, I would fuck it.
What?
I would put my dick in
The
a
one
sea
from
monkey.
Subnautica?
Yeah, I would fuck it.
They rip your dick off it because it likes to
Not the
steal.
domestic- It likes to
steal your shit.
items
No,
and steal your dick.
Not the domesticated ones. They're nice. You
Yeah.
just flip it on its side and you just
Wait, there's domesticated ones?
yeah, you can domesticate.
You
When they
breed
start
them.
stealing your
What?
stuff.
You breed them. You didn't know that?
I didn't
It
know.
looks
I
like
haven't played
it
Subnautica
looks
in a
like
long
yeah,
time.
no,
it looks
he
like
went on a
Carter's gotta have a
genocide.
new thing
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
I just kept I put like one egg or 2 eggs in it by mistake, and well not by mistake, just to breed them, then set them free, and then I came back after like a large expedition. There's like fucking 8 of them,
Yeah,
and I just put like the others out, left 2 again, and another 8. So now I just have sea monkeys around my area that don't steal my shit.
Yeah, and then he's going on a genocide and murdering all the ones that take stuff.
Yeah,
That way
I'm killing
only
all the
his
ones that
nice
take
ones are alive.
shit, so only my monkeys are alive.
You're naturally selecting them.
Yeah, natural
I
selection,
see.
baby.
Natural selection to avoid stealing my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selectively.
Because they're cute as fuck, so I want them, but like, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck
Breeding
yeah.
them like how
Put
we
your
breed
dick
You
inside
want the
sea
ones
monkey
that you
pussy.
want.
Yeah, I want the ones that I make.
Yeah, make a freaking inbred pug-looking sea monkey where they have breeding.
Dude, what if
hormones.
Subnautica had like physics like that in breeding and
Like
just
her-
made a
like-
Yeah,
fucked
make, like,
animal?
genetic-
Like Heredity and stuff.
Dude, it would be like forced evolution. You can make some wacky shit.
There's a game called Evolution where you can actually put like weird little like penis creatures.
How about Spore?
In a thing.
How about Spore?
That's different though.
Spore is fun.
You
That
make
was
that
a
yourself.
fun
You're
game.
basically God in that.
Spore was a fun
Yeah.
ass game.
It is. It gets boring though after a while.
Okay, after I played it for 600 hours, I did in fact.
That
feel
was
a
me
little
in
boredom.
Sims. Sims is the only like actual
Oh.
micromanagement game I've ever had
Okay.
Yeah.
that
you ever
wasn't like
played,
Clash of Clans.
Have you played Black and White Battle of the Gods?
No.
Okay, it's like $6 on the EA website, and it's like the funnest game I've ever.
Is that the
played.
one where you're actually God?
Yeah, you play as God and you're fighting civilizations and
Yeah.
goals to
Oh,
grow.
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
so
game.
fun. You play as the Greek Empire, and
Uh-huh.
then you get to build like massive fucking armies and have like huge fights, and the physics are so cool.
What are you talking about?
Black and White.
Oh.
Battle of the Gods. You
Is it-
fight.
it's an RTS
another
game,
god.
right?
Yeah, it's real-time strategy. You have armies of like over 400 soldiers, and then you can have like hundreds of those like pairs of 400, and you can just launch massive fucking attacks.
Yeah.
And you get specialized monsters that are like based on like what you do. Like you can have a turtle monster, like a lion monster. It's fucking cool.
Actually, I lied. I've played Civ 5. I played
That's
Civ
fun.
5.
Civilization.
Civ is fun up until the point where I just kept trying to do like the hard, I just kept trying to do like the harder campaigns and stuff like that. So I'd always get like, I'd piss off Gandhi somehow,
Empires is also a really fun real-time strategy.
and he wouldn't like nuke me, of course, but he'd just be like,
StarCraft.
he'd start wars, and then like
That's
a
a good
bunch of
idea.
people would ally him because he's
Have you
Gandhi.
played modern StarCraft?
No.
That one's fun. They remastered Warcraft and StarCraft, so you have modern graphics.
I've been playing Warhammer 40k Dawn of War, which is a
Do they have
RTS
any
game.
RTS?
Carter, you should play Apex
Yes,
with me.
that's the game. It's
But do
it's
you
basically
get, do you
Warcraft.
get giant armies?
Carter,
Yeah.
Carter, you should play
Is it
Apex with
free?
me. I've known to play with.
Do you think
No.
his computer can run Apex?
I don't know.
No, I don't think it
My
can.
computer can.
It's
not.
really old. I have to play like
my
old,
laptop
like
can,
Warcraft 3 looking.
You need to get like
RTS
your
games.
own PC before you like move out or
I
something.
have
like,
like a really nice computer that I just need to build, but it's at my
Yeah,
grandpa's
you
house, and
dumb
I
fuck.
never go over there.
My laptop is really weird. I got a new laptop and it's very nice. And I can watch and like film videos in 4K. But the problem with it is, I can run Dead by Daylight flawlessly on all the graphics settings. Yet, the minute I get Minecraft on, I have to take the FPS down from unlimited to 60.
Oh,
Like
you-
Minecraft
Have you-
chugs it. And
have you seen
I'm
the video?
upset because I'm trying to build something really nice and cool in
I
there.
was trying to stream like 2 weeks ago.
oh yeah, I was watching.
And
that.
I was like, I had to lower the graphics all the way down because it's like my computer cannot handle Minecraft.
you
Just
need to get a
why-
new computer,
Just
man.
just save up to like get a computer. Do what I'm doing.
How-
I'm saving it to get a rig,
My
so when I move out, I
computer-
can actually set it up.
It's not my computer, it's my dad's, but It's at least like over a decade old. Like it's that old, but it's like a big chunk.
Isn't it like an off-brand or like a dead brand?
It's a dead brand. Yeah, and there's like nothing that can fix it at all.
Linux.
I remember
Linux?
the oldest computer I think I've ever seen was one in Duman Dallon's basement. Speaking of that, I have a fish story with him actually, real quick.
Man, this is the fish story podcast.
It isn't about the mountains
so-
anymore. It's about the
Something smells fishy here. Title.
Hey,
What was I gonna say about Diamond? Oh yeah.
smells fishy in here, boys.
It's just the pussy.
What?
That's fish. Something involving fish.
No, it wasn't. It was the thing before that.
What do you mean?
What were we talking about before the? What were we talking about
Wait.
before the
Wait.
fish thing came back up?
Computers.
Touch me with that.
Okay, in Duman Dallon's basement, his dad built a computer for the military back in like 1989. That sucker had like little like the RAM was like in the kilobytes,
Yeah, it was really small.
and it was like the kilobytes. That was the most you could have. Like, it was a computer that you loaded up simply to play text-based speech games that
Yeah.
were like a minute long,
Whoa!
or
AI Dungeon, my
type
favorite game.
type like 3 documents
RuneScape?
and then
RuneScape?
use floppy disks all the time. Like, dude,
I'll give you
that was wacky.
1,000 gold in Diablo.
And then I guess here's
Have you
here's
seen
the
Diablo
the
4
fish
coming
story.
out?
Yeah, here's the fish story again.
So with
Back on the fish.
with Duman Dallon and his
He
lo-
put
his
a
lovely
fish tank-
accompanants.
No, he put a fish tank in the computer.
Back when I turned 18.
That would be cool.
Super cool.
Yeah, back when I turned 18.
Should we go to fish tank?
Uh,
That's a good idea, actually.
he
Hey, stop.
he contacted me
Fish
because
story.
besides I think me and Dallon too, or Peter, we're the oldest in the cast, so he was a baby boy. So when I turned 18, back when I turned 18, he came to me and was like, I want to buy a fish, but you need to be 18 to buy a fish. So I was offered to buy him a fish, and then we were at the store trying to buy the fish, and he picks this shark-looking thing, like this type of like mini shark that's not supposed to grow any longer than maybe 3 inches long, and and we were like talking with the guy, and like he went over like the specs, like the tank, and down, he was like, I think I got that. So we were like, put it on hold, went to his house to figure out like if the tank was good enough. I go in there, that tank was not good enough. It was dirty, it was tiny. It was like that tank, but like over there in our corner, but half. And then shorter. So, and like that tank is perfect for that kind of fish, but half of that, and then also half the size going, both long and high.
Well, it's tiny.
Like that shark thing would have died in seconds because it needs like room.
It would have just cried itself to death.
And Down, he was like, I'll still do it. I'm like, Down, it's gonna die.
I'm not gonna let
And
you.
then his lovely accompanants, who might be on this podcast at some point,
Jessica.
said,
Yeah.
no.
Weirdo.
I don't know.
We're saving the name drops for later. Excuse me.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah Smith.
I don't know when she'll be on, but she does
Yeah.
want to do one of these.
Yeah, should be on.
She does.
Yeah.
Really? Interesting.
Anyway,
Maybe we'll bring her on next time.
that was that story of him almost having me buy a fish that was gonna die instantaneously.
You know what's funny about fish?
How
You don't know if they're crying or not because they're underwater.
Yes.
You don't know if they're depressed. That's the hardest part.
Oi.
is Understanding their needs.
Ow, you cut me with the metal. Ow.
What are you guys doing?
He keeps smacking me with his lighter.
So, I don't think this was mentioned in the last episode, but like a month ago there was an earthquake here.
Oh yeah.
Was it? I thought we did talk about it.
No, we never did.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
That was before it happened.
yeah, you guys didn't record that.
I think it made
You guys
me
recorded that a
comfortable.
little before. Yeah, there was.
It made the sign that I got when we went to the cave fall down, and that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, so let's all go in a circle and say our experience that woke us up in that morning.
I was drinking off at about 5 in the morning.
It was like 7.
Okay, you laugh, but I literally do that. It'll be like 5 or 6 in the morning. I'll be like, okay, time to beat my.
All right.
And then I said, Ethan, that picture.
Yeah, then you'll send me some stupid picture. I'll be like,
I mean, it helps you sleep, so I mean,
Yeah, that's actually a fact.
it actually does release a lot of chemicals to make you tired. So.
If I don't nut for 2 days straight, I usually have a bomb ass dream by 6.
Wacky.
Interesting.
You jizz in your underwear when you wake up.
Alright.
Just a little bit of cum in the underwear.
Just a big old mess. Just
Splurge!
I just wake up and the sheets are just moist.
Splooge.
So start with me, and then we'll go this way.
We'll go around.
So
Hey, how about sucking my dick?
maybe I will. Maybe I'll come over there
No,
right now.
hey,
Here I come. Here I
It
come.
was just a joke.
This podcast is
I
sponsored.
smacked my fucking foot.
So, it's like 6 in the morning, 6 a.m.
I felt the difference.
And I actually was awake before this. I was like, oh, it's 6 a.m. Oh,
The
my
earthquake
God.
happened at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and then I watched like an Unis Honest video of Markiplier. I was like,
Disgusting. You watch that amazing channel?
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, this is epic. And then I went back to sleep.
Went to sleep.
And then it's like 7:35. Stuff started shaking. I thought like an airplane was crashing in my backyard. Either that or like a train got derailed somehow and started going through my backyard.
That would have been dope.
Because
the ghost train came to pick your ass up.
Ghost Train from Rick and Morty. Remember that one character?
The ghost
Ghost
train
train.
came to pick your
got
ass
fucked up
up
by a bunch of
from the-
ants.
your
I
house.
actually when I used to live in my old house, there was a tracks behind our backyard, and it would scare the ever living shit out of me while I was sleeping. After when trains would go by, because it would shake the house, and I'm like, I don't want to be.
Bro, just be in the middle of jerking off while it comes by, and then just go Uber mode.
I was 3 years old.
Doesn't matter.
I didn't know what that was back then. I
Maybe
played
it
with
just
toy
leaked a
cars
little.
and Hot Wheels.
Alright.
Maybe the Hot Wheels were hot.
Let's get back on focus real quick. So this is like this is a short thing, and then we have more stuff to cover after
It
this.
sounded like a freight train. That's what it sounded like. And then it was like 5 seconds, just shook me in my bed.
How much
It didn't knock
horsepower-
anything off my
Listen,
shelves, which
how
I'm
much
very surprised
horsepower
about.
is a freight train?
What?
Give me how much horsepower is in a freight train.
I don't know.
How much?
At least 6.
You're right. I'm technically.
Yeah, that's true.
You're.
I'm believing it's a lot. But you know,
Keep talking.
How many horsepower is a rocket?
Stop.
how many horsepower is
How many horses would it take to like fly you into space?
Pyromaniac.
the newest propulsion technology? Hasn't been realized till now. We can just strap horses to a rocket and just gallop into space.
What?
Horsepower. It's not a
It
measurement.
goes vertically, not horizontally.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my erection.
Just put the horses on like
Like
harnesses sideways. Let them gallop and just they'll go into space.
Bro, this isn't Santa's reindeer.
Yeah. it is. So yeah, I was just like, I woke up and I'm like, all right, my alarm hasn't gone off for my 7:35 hour like area to wake up. And so I'm like, the earth's shaking. I'm pretty sure that's worthy enough to be my alarm clock. And I woke up and I took a shower and just got ready for the day after that.
Why is that even
It's like I'm not going back to sleep after that. I'm waiting for the aftershocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just went back to sleep right after.
I'm very interested in science and crap, and I just wanted to feel it.
I already felt
That's
it
the first earthquake I've ever felt in my entire life.
Same.
Ooh, Carter like earthquake. Ooh, shake my butt.
It's cool though, because those are bright vibrations coming straight from the core, but also slipping.
Nice man.
Stinks.
You and Tony's right. So yeah, there's not my story. Parker, you go ahead.
I was sleeping and I was woken up with the earthquake, the shaking, and I for me it was like really weird. I like drifted into this like awakeness, but I'm like I had a big massive headache from
vivid dreaming.
I dreamt the whole thing. My head was like throbbing, like it was not a good feeling. So I sleep on a futon that's like metal. So basically I had the metal vibrations going into my head, my body. It was not very fun. And I didn't know it was an earthquake, and I thought it was someone trying to wake me up. So I yelled, "Shut up." The earthquake stopped.
You yelled, "Shut up!" at an
I
earthquake.
yelled, "Shut up" at an earthquake.
Parker, you stopped it.
I
You
did.
said, "Shut up!" and it
There's
stopped.
the power of
You
God.
saved us. You saved us.
I
It
yelled,
wouldn't have done
"Shut
that
up."
much damage anyway if it kept going. It's a 5.8. That doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
Except,
Not a trash can's over.
Yeah, that's all
So,
it does.
yeah, I was like, I still thought it was someone waking me up.
Shut
And
up.
I had a headache. I was very upset, and then my sister runs in the room, going. And I was like, what's going on? And she's like, earthquake! There's an earthquake!
I'm like,
Oh, it was
gee,
cool.
fucking
I
yeah.
wasn't scared. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it felt
honestly.
weird.
And I just was like, fuck, I guess I'm up. I guess I'm awake now.
Like when the
and
aftershocks came?
then I was just monitoring
Yeah.
it. I never felt any of the aftershocks. Was funny
I
enough.
only felt like one of them.
I was in my bed when one of the aftershocks happened, and it felt like I was just swaying.
I know.
It's like-
It's such a weird feeling.
It's really cool, honestly.
It was sexual.
Yeah, it was.
I was aroused.
Anyway,
Would you put your dick in a hole of the earth while it's having an
No,
earthquake?
my dick.
And let it jack
It
you
would,
off?
it would rip
Look,
my
here's
dick
the
off.
thing: you don't have your dick in a girl's pussy while she's orgasming.
I see your point.
Yeah, what poor soul was having sex in their car during that moment? Just suddenly everything
He
started.
snapped his dick off.
Yeah, he was just nutting too hard, and he forgot to pull out because of the earthquake.
And now she's pregnant. And now he's fucked.
How many babies have been made because of that earthquake?
Probably like maybe 2.
2 tops.
I want to
At
know. I want
most.
to know their story. I want to raise them.
What?
I want to
What?
see what.
You want to raise someone else's kid?
No, I want to
Yo,
see what
so
happened.
funny story. You were in an accident, and you happened during an earthquake, so you're pretty much the Antichrist.
Quake. Your name is
Earthquake! Just name him Quaker.
All right, Josué, what's your story?
When I was sleeping, I woke up. Thankfully, you know the street sign I had
Yeah.
that we found when we
Yeah,
went to the
back
cave.
to like episode I don't know, 2, 3, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure,
It was a
but
long time ago. We were
thankfully it wasn't on my head side, and it was more like bottom of the bed, so it didn't hit me when it
Yeah.
fell down. I was like, "What the fuck, man?" And basically, I just go, "Big monkey!" I'm like, "What the fuck's going on?" I get up like, what the shit? I got up while the earthquake was happening because I wanted to feel like what it was doing while I was standing.
Stan.
And then I walked over to my room and was like, "Yo, what the fuck happened?" And that was basically it. And then I started singing that one Tyler One song, "I'm in my earthquake," basically the whole
Nice.
time.
Yeah,
Nice.
you had boring. Mine was scary.
Yeah.
A sign
That was
almost
yours.
fell on me. That was like the only thing that almost
What's
happened.
yours, man?
All right.
Will I play this game?
It was 3 in the morning, and I was on Netflix watching Paranormal Activity. Then I fell asleep and had some weird ass nightmare. And then I get woken up by the earthquake, and my bed was shaking. And I always sleep with like the blanket over my head. I just
Why?
like how I started falling asleep.
How are you alive? You get
I don't
hardly
know.
any oxygen.
Sometimes
That's
I
the
do
whole
that just
point.
so
I like
I-
fall asleep easier.
Yeah.
But so like I had the blanket over my head, and then I started shaking. I woke up, and the first thing that came to my mind, because I just came out of a nightmare, was like, damn, this is where I fucking die. This is a ghost, and it's shaking my bed, and it's gonna gobble me from my feet up.
Someone's gonna eat your dick before you
Yeah,
die.
I was gonna have to feel my nuts get chopped off, and I just went like brick still. I was like, this is where I fucking die, because like the bed was shaking at first. I thought it was like my mom shaking it. Then I was like, nah, my mom would never do that, and my door is locked. So I was like, this is death. And then like I slowly lift over the sheets, and then my bed is just going, because my bed is on like,
He's a massive bed.
yeah, my bed is huge, and I'm like, and I have like really like unstable things holding up. It's literally just like random bars under it that's keeping it from falling. So it was like swaying violently, and I was like, yep, ghost, I'm gonna die. And then like my mom comes in, and is like, so it's an earthquake. I was like, oh.
It wasn't a ghost coming to eat my ass.
Why do you sound
and
disappointed?
toes.
I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
I thought it would be
Would
cool.
have been a way better story to tell. A ghost
Yeah,
ate
what
your ass.
like what if I like pulled off the sheets and there's a fucking ghost there shaking it? Like that would have been a way
Fucking
cooler
reptilian
story.
comes out of your closet and starts eating your asshole.
Every
Ooh, you
every
eat a lot
night
of
of
food.
Halloween, I have a nightmare of a goblin coming and eating out my asshole.
Speaking of like when you put your blanket over your head when you're sleeping, like I do that because like I'm constantly afraid of having myself being woken up by sleep paralysis demon. I've never had sleep paralysis ever, and I'm afraid for the day that it will because I know at least
I
one
want
time in my life
to.
it's going to happen.
I want to just like not sleep for like 4 days and finally have that one experience.
Like it happens when
Oh.
you're very stressed out in the
You
day.
want some sleep
and then you
paralysis
sleep?
stories?
I got some too.
It's just like, Parker's had some scary things that I've heard about. I don't think Ethan has, but
I've had
Really?
a lot of
Yeah,
paralysis demon
jeez.
experiences.
well, I've heard that sleep paralysis comes from sleeping on your back and you're very stressed before the day. So I try to just like calm down, have a nice, cup of tea before I go to sleep.
When you
Relax
say that, I think of
myself.
all the moments you've like spazzed out over the
Yeah,
littlest things.
me being autistic.
You called me nigger.
Oh, that was
You
dumb.
wanna hear my scariest sleep
You went
paralysis?
so dumb.
bro. You went Sicko mode.
Dude,
Bro.
that's ape mode.
Dude, you want to?
I don't think it's that important. It's not really that,
That was
big of a
hilarious.
deal anyway.
Yeah.
No, do you want to
We're
hear the
over it.
scariest sleep paralysis experience I've ever had?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, I was beat as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was
we all
already
were.
pretty mentally fucked up. And then every night I would have nightmares, and when I'd wake up, the nightmare would continue
Oh,
when I woke up.
jeez.
So I was in like a vivid dream state where like I'd wake up and I'd still see things from the nightmare. Alright? But I think my greatest experience was like right up
Greatest.
before my parents were gonna divorce. I had a dream that I was being chased by like a severed hand, okay?
Jeez.
I was in like my grandparents' house, and I was like
What, you
running
mean the
around.
severed hand from the Addams Family?
Yeah, like some shit like, except like weird, because instead of like walking around, I was fucking floating, and it was just going like this.
It's like him from
Master
Smash Bros.
Master hand, yeah.
Yeah, it was like going straight for my head, and I was like, damn.
There's
But
just
yeah,
like-
it was moving weird, and like every.
He was doing fucking jitsu signs.
Well, no, and like everything was dark in the house, so I was like shitting myself. I was like 5, so like obviously a floating.
Wait, you
hand
were
could be
awake,
like-
like walking through your house?
No, that was during the dream.
Oh, okay.
So then I eventually hid in the door and locked it, and then I just hear and the hand like just rocket launched through the fucking door and just shattered the wood. And I woke up in like a cold sweat. I was like, and then I slowly get up, right? And I just got like this edgy feeling because I was like slowly getting up, okay?
Is it
And then I
there?
slowly removed the blanket from my head. And I had a toy box in the corner of my room, okay?
Oh.
Just full of like a bunch of random ass toys, okay? I just see this fucking like in the hand is like sitting here like this. And it just like slowly pops out of my fucking toys. okay?
Holy crap, dude!
Dude, I was like 5
Dude,
years old.
that's
So I
giving me
looked over
chills.
there and I was completely frozen. Like I was
Oh.
like an inch. No, and then it opened up like it was talking and then it just screeched. Like I heard like a genuine
Dude.
terrifying screech.
That's terrifying!
No, it gets better. So the first thing I do is I throw my blanket up and I start running to the light and then I stop because I had my shoes. I always put my shoes
it, like,
right
on
by
your
my
shoulder,
light.
just-
No, it popped out of the shoe. Like it was like teleporting between spots in my room,
Oh my
screeching.
gosh.
Okay? And then it popped out of my shoes right before the light and just kept screeching, and I was like crying madly. And I flipped on the switch, and my dad came running in, and he was a bitch.
He's like, what's going on?
No, yeah, he came running in, and then like everything stopped. But I was like, that was like
The hand was him.
That was fucking.
It's
terrifying.
so odd because, like, you know, like ghost stories and stuff like that, they usually come from just like sleep paralysis and stuff. Like, it could have been a haunting. We just don't know. Like,
Yeah.
there's
Sleep
like,
paralysis is weird.
There's a perfectly like scientific explanation. Like, there's theories that have proved like ghosts could be some kind of, you know, extra dimensional thing, or they're just like some coincidence that just
Yeah, no.
are happening from like hypnotism or something.
I was a really fucked up kid. Like so my dad exposed me to horror movies when I was like 2.
Yeah.
So I was seeing things like The Hills Have Eyes and like Jaws and like
Oh my
really
gosh.
fucked up shit like that. And I would draw it. That's really when I started getting into art. So I would
Yeah.
draw weird things.
Yeah, you
I had,
draw
like,
some pretty cool monsters and stuff.
I had to go to counseling a lot because I would draw like really gory settings and like
Yeah.
shit like that. I was a very haunted kid. I haven't had a sleep paralysis experience since then, but like it was an
Jeez.
intense time.
But you were like running around in your room, like.
No, yeah, I was moving and I was still seeing.
Usually,
It was,
you know,
like,
when you
so
have
weird.
sleep paralysis, you're stuck on your bed and you can't breathe.
Yeah, it was like weird hallucinations and shit. Oh, there's one time I thought I saw Bigfoot. That one was fucking weird.
I just got up, looked to the door.
No, dude, I
he was there.
I swear on my fucking life, there was something wrong with that damn house. Like, there's something fucking with me in that house.
Man. Jeez,
You're in
Parker,
demons.
what about your sleep paralysis demon?
I only ever had one sleep
Tell me you had
paralysis
big titties.
experience, and I don't know. You definitely probably didn't.
Damn.
I just woke up. I was on my bed. I was like, oh, this is nice.
It's a nice night.
And I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything but stare. I wasn't even blinking or anything. And after a minute, I'm like looking around, and then all of a sudden, just this dude's in the corner.
Shit.
He's like, you know how like bones are white.
Everybody gangsta, so the
yeah,
dude's in the
He was
corner.
that white.
He's like bone white.
He was bone white,
like
and
yellowish white.
like the yellowish bone white,
Ew.
and with a little more white. So, and then he had like, you know, a stick figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, a stick figure with a match head.
Oh, yeah, I
no,
forgot about this.
no features, no solo sunken in eye feature, nothing.
He's told the story
Just
before.
completely round and flat,
To
match head, stubby like match stick,
So it's
like
like stick
arms,
fighting.
stick figure, and he's just sitting there
Looking at you.
looking at me.
Minecraft? What the
And then I feel
Didn't you
like
say he didn't have a face
like-
at all?
Dude,
No,
I really
didn't.
want
But
to
he
have
was
a
looking
sleep
at you.
paralysis.
Like, you can
demon.
tell he was looking
you
at
could tell he's looking at you. You
But
could
he didn't have a
you,
face.
you could tell. Like you could tell he was looking at you.
Oh, I hate
And-
faceless things.
And then it was a minute
There's not even
later.
emotion at all. It's
He
just-
he walks.
Dread.
This thing walks up like next to my bed, looks at me from right next to me on my bed, and at the moment I'm just like sitting there going, "Fuck."
Why, hello there.
Hey, baby, you come here often?
Oh.
I got a number. Wanna call?
Brother.
Anyway, so it goes behind me, and at that point I'm freaking out.
God.
I'm freaking out because I know it's not gone. And then all of a sudden, after about a minute of him being behind me, I just feel inside of my skull just like sharp ass fingers just scraping the inside of my skull as if my
Inside,
brain
not the outside.
inside,
Like the inside.
inside,
your head.
inside my head, at the inside of my skull, just scraping, as
you
if my
hear it?
brain wasn't. Yeah, I heard it.
Oh.
And I felt it too, as if my brain wasn't there, just scraping the inside of my skull. And I finally blinked, and it was morning. There was daylight shining through my window, and it was all over.
Dude, did you have an abduction?
I don't fucking know, man.
I
It
don't know
was
what-
Some
freaky.
alien phased his hand through your
Damn,
brain
no,
and
I
started
watched it.
putting
I didn't even fall asleep on my back. I guess I just kind of rolled
Parker,
over.
if we put you in an MRI and we look at your skull and you've got alien technology in your brain, can we trust you?
He was
Dude, if I ever have a sleep paralysis demon, I want it to be a gorilla, like a giant gorilla, and I want it to just be screaming,
Gorilla glue.
The gorilla glue monkey.
The gorilla glue monkey
Yeah,
comes always
this
like.
comes out of the door and goes. Yeah, no, I can tell you. You could probably have a sleep paralysis demon. I've been experimenting because I've been really bored.
Yeah.
I've been experimenting.
You're
with
trying to
going-
make yourself have
No,
sleep
I've been
paralysis?
trying to go straight into REM sleep while staying conscious.
Oh, so you're just like sitting there.
No, like I close my eyes and I like rest my body and then
Yeah,
I get
that's-
to the point. Yeah, you can feel like so. What happens is like it happens in like stages. You have like
Yeah.
REM every hour.
You have like a feeling in your arm. It's like, oh, you've
Yeah.
got to itch it,
So it
but then
takes,
you
like-
don't do it, and it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
time for REM sleep.
It takes 306 or 3,600 seconds for an hour to pass, and that's when you have 10 minutes of REM sleep, or at least I have like 10ish minutes of it.
Yeah.
So I've been experimenting on how close I can get to REM sleep without actually falling like fully asleep. So like I'll get to the point where I can feel my whole body like paralyzed. And it's like sometimes it's like sharp pains.
So you're trying to be like technically you're trying to have like out of body experiences.
Yeah, I'm trying to
basically.
like go straight into the dream state.
You're trying to go to the astral plane.
Yeah, and I've had some really fucking weird experiences because of that. Because before REM sleep, your brain.
Okay, are you like aware of everything? You can
Yeah,
control
like I'm
everything.
still. I know I'm breathing and like everything, but like before you go to sleep, your brainstem before
Yeah.
REM sleep is launching off random like
Yeah.
thoughts and not like thoughts, but like impulses, which
Yeah.
is where you have like the before actual dreaming, and then like it's fucking weird. It's like I'm high on acid or something. So I'll just be sitting there with my eyes closed.
Yeah,
and I
that's
know-
usually what happened. You'd see like weird shapes and colors, and then if you stay for long enough, those will form into like a room or something.
Yeah, like I'll genuinely like I know my eyes are closed and like I'm breathing and I'm aware, but then I'll just start seeing like weird hallucinations. Like that shit's weird. Like especially if I think of something like sexual and then it just like starts kind of appearing before me. I'm like,
But then it goes away. You're like, oh no!
damn it.
You think you can do that while you're like awake with your eyes open?
Yeah, like dreaming or meditation or something.
Because like if I stare at something a little long and I don't think about it, I can like there's been moments where I've actually been able to like perceive the floor is the ceiling, I'm upside down,
Well, no, they
and
say
I can make things like just water up and solidify at will.
yeah. If you
And like that can make the walls breathe. I can make them like jag out.
Yeah,
and then
no.
sometimes if I stare at a horizon long enough, I can make it all go into like
Dude, you know what? You know what it
split,
feels like when
jagged
you're...
like glass.
no, there's
What?
an experience. The
The
scientists
issue
proved
is
that.
it requires me to not blink for over a minute.
If you close your eyes and then you put on headphones and just like play straight like static sounds, it actually causes you to like have like completely like vivid hallucinations. Like they've done so
Dude,
many
we gotta
studies
do
on
that.
it.
We gotta have a sleepover and just goes, what the fuck is that?
Bro.
What do you mean? You don't listen to static when you go to bed and freak the fuck out and then black out? And you wake up in a puddle of your own sweat?
And then you
So-
wake up and it's real!
So like some nights
You
I get
wake up
really...
and the Gogus man is there.
Carter, one of these days I'm gonna get a gorilla suit and go to your house and then wake up and going,
Just knocking on his window.
I'll help you.
He
I'll
like
find the
wakes up
suit.
in a cold sweat.
he's just gonna be asleep.
It's gonna haunt me forever, dude.
I could probably.
He's gonna stand up like, oh. He's looking out his window.
I'm not even gonna say anything. He's gonna wake up. I'm just gonna be standing there. He's gonna be like, what the fuck? He's gonna be like creeping away. I'm going, Big boy!
He thinks there's something out the window. He looks up there, and like just like the
smashes the
shadows
window.
just from behind him.
God, I would shit myself.
Before Carter goes to work, I start chasing him into his car saying,
You know what it feels like when you're like in total control of your dream? Like you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm in a dream.
It's called
I'm gonna
lucid.
fly. I'm gonna fly now.
I
It's
wish
called
I could
lucid
lucid dream.
You know what that
I
feels
physically
like
can't.
and like looks like? That feels like you're Neo from the Matrix. And
Well,
you
yeah.
just can fly everywhere.
That's
and
what
do
I've been
whatever he
trying to
wants.
doing, but like the times are random. Sometimes
It makes
I'll
me
make it.
think
I
that
can't do
the
it.
Matrix
I
might
cannot
be
do it.
real.
No, there are
2-8.
times.
2-8.
Degree.
No, there are
Yeah.
times I can get to like 3,000 seconds and I'll be just like feeling myself going into the dream, like things will take shape, and then I'll just pass out and then wake up in the morning like, damn. Or there are other times I only get to like 500 seconds, so I'll just yeet out of consciousness. It's like I've been trying to get close to it, but it's like really hard to build up. But what usually happens when I get into lucid dreaming is I'll get woken up by my alarm.
So stop doing that.
I'll get woken up by my alarm and then just go back to sleep, but I keep the same mindset as I'm falling back asleep. Because when you wake up by an alarm, it's forcing you out of your dream state instantly, but you can go right back
Yeah,
to
I've
it.
had dreams where it's like, I had a dream where I was following Goku through a hallway of like
Goku!
mirrors,
Goku!
and there's just like this bass boost, just,
Taco Bell.
and then I woke up and my alarm was going off.
Yeah, no.
He like turns back and says like in like reverse, but you can still understand it.
Are you
just,
joining?
Are you ready to see the party?
Oh, God.
But it's not Goku's
We have
voice.
arrived.
No, so what I'll do is I'll wake up and then I'll start counting again and like slowly fade back into sleep, and then I'll be like completely lucid,
You're gonna drop that. It's gonna explode.
and then I usually just clap some cheeks in my dreams. Just 'cause,
Nice.
like, yeah.
I don't.
What else am I gonna do?
I wouldn't know how to do that.
I mean, yeah, that's
Masturbate.
usually what people would do when they're
Yeah.
lucid. They
You
they
just sit
try
there and
to
you're like,
fly or they'll fuck someone.
No, like before REM sleep, almost everyone has sexual arousal right before they fall asleep. It's just
I've
like
heard
natural.
that. I've heard that sometimes when they'll do that, the person that they're doing stuff with turns into like a decrepit monster and just starts trying to kill them.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What kind of
I
dreams
hope
do you
that
have?
happens to you.
No, I've heard this has happened
Imagine
to people.
I'm in the middle of clapping
never
one of my
had this
exes,
happen.
and then it just goes.
Turns into a demon. Ooh.
I don't
Its
know.
pussy turns into like teeth and just.
It's just like damn. My
It
pig.
might represent
You're-
something. I have no idea.
Your balls deep, and all of a sudden it's
So
big.
they theorize. So no one actually knows why we dream, but
Yeah.
a lot of people think that it's to go through like simulations of like situations and like
We're in a
adverse
simulation.
fears and stuff. Which is like if
Like
you
to
watch.
survive?
Yeah, like if you watch a zombie movie, you're like before you fall asleep.
I
you're
could
twice as
understand how
likely
that
to have
work,
a zombie
actually.
Dream.
What kind of fucking simulations is my brain doing then? I don't have any. I don't have visual dreams.
I've had a
either.
simulation
I don't-
parent
I
about
have
learning from the
completely
plague doctor.
sensory, like
Bro.
sensory deprivation.
I
I
write
can
down
feel
some of my
stuff.
dreams.
I can smell stuff. I can taste stuff, but nothing else. I can't hear, and I cannot see.
No,
That's
my
weird.
dreams are so vivid.
Because I'll either have a really, really scary visual dream or a very, very weird and just odd visual dream. And that's the only thing I'll get, and then in between that is just dark.
Dude.
And then I'll just wake up immediately.
I write down my dreams in my phone sometimes if they're good ones, and I have like whole like movie.
You go to a
epilogues
psychologist and be
stuff
like, what does this represent? Be
No,
like,
when I had my PTSD specialist, I was telling her about it. He was like, "Sounds like you're just like reliving like situations that you could find yourself in."
I
'Cause, like,
wonder if that's what it is actually. It's just evolutionary, programming.
well, yeah, that's what it's theorized to be. But then you have like random dreams that make no fucking sense, and then that makes me be like, "Well, maybe this theory doesn't make any
Maybe
damn
this
sense."
doesn't work.
Like I don't know. Like I've heard someone told me a dream about how they're like talking to a floating goldfish. Like I don't know what that has to do with anything.
It's
Once
just like
goldfish
one of
take over
those
the
weird,
world.
surreal scenes from Rango where the freaking fish is just floating through the sky.
Dreams are literally just tabs of acid, but like you're paralyzed. That's literally all it is.
All right, and this topic, my first dream and my first nightmare I remember was fucking surreal and horrifying.
Let's all talk about our first nightmare, and then we'll end it. All right?
Wait,
We're gonna get very, very. Let's
After-
go fast though.
After this, can we talk about the video?
What video?
You know the video.
I gotta
Okay,
go
yeah,
home
well-
in like 7 minutes. So.
Okay, let's
Alright,
hurry.
cool.
8
Speed
minutes.
All right, speed on. I'll go first because I don't have that much time. All right, so I was staying on my old hometown street, the street where I used to live, and me and my sister are walking, and I'm like 5 or something like that, and we're walking, and all of a sudden this conductor guy stops me,
It's Thomas.
and looks up, and all of a sudden there's this giant fucking like sun meteor just sitting there, silhouette with the ring around the fire around it. I'm sitting there going, shit.
There's any
And
sense of dread. That's
he
just a
points
lot.
and he points left or right. So I point left and it goes to the left. And then he points at my sister
Oh,
and then she starts fucking crying. And then I say, like, no, go back to the right, and the mirror goes back in front of us. Like, the sun thing goes back in front of us. And my sister keeps crying. I look back at her, and, like, I don't know what it is, but, like, something about her gum being gone, but I've never chewed... Me and my sister had never tried even chewing gum before. So it was just really weird on that stand, but it ended with him doing these weird sign language things to me, pointing at me, and then doing X's across his eyes, and then I woke up.
Sounds surreal.
Jeez. All right.
And that was the first dream I can ever remember me having.
The first nightmare I had where I was being dragged into a Republic gunship from Star Wars.
What the hell?
And, like, people were dragging me. There were aliens, like, you know, like the gray aliens with the big eyes, you know, the generic looking guys that killed, like,
Gray.
Grays. They were dragging me, and just out of nowhere, this weird lady in a latex suit comes out. It's like, all right, you're coming with me, and it ended.
That's it.
It was so weird. It's the scariest thing ever to me.
How that scary?
I have one dream
I
that I
was
remember.
like 5
I have
years
one
old at
nightmare.
the time.
I have one nightmare that I clearly remember.
Alright, so I was a child, a little boy, and my mother, I was playing out in the front yard, and there's this guy, like, around the corner, like, right past the tree. He's like in a full plague doctor outfit.
Oh my god.
And it's like very mechanical. It's very mechanical, and the lenses are glowing green.
Bro, that's literally SCP, like, what is it, like 90?
I don't know, but it's the one that if it touches you, you immediately die.
Yeah, and his eyes are just glowing green. He was staring at me, and I tried running back home. I could not move an inch.
I
could not
that
move.
dreams. You
And
just like get stuck.
extended hallways.
And my mother was right at the door. My mother was right at the door. I was like, "Oh, please help me, please help me." And she didn't do a thing. Closed the door, locked it, and left me. And then the plague doctor started just running at me, grabbed me, and took me away. And then I woke up.
So you said mechanical, right?
Yeah, like a mechanic.
Yeah.
So you looked at him, and you looked at him, and he went like this.
Yes.
Bro, that would be edgy as
I hate
fuck.
when you're in a dream and you're in a hallway and you like the gravity's like really really dense and you're just stuck to the wall and you can't move.
I hate
Either
when-
that or you get stuck to the side of the wall and you can't run anywhere.
No, I hate it when, like, doors don't close right and, like, little things like that. Because, like, my mind has
I don't think I'm
issues,
in
like...
a real world, yeah.
Yeah, my brain has, like, issues doing full physics sometimes, so, like, I'll close the door and then I'll just, like, creak back open and I'm like, yo, that's not supposed to happen. And I'll, like, look down and the door's, like, way too short and, like, stout so it doesn't even reach the lock. I'm like, bro,
Programming bugs.
this isn't right. Wait, hold on. No, I would say my most... So, my dad would tell me about the boogeyman,
Oh my gosh.
and I had a closet right at the foot of my bed.
Oh.
Okay, and he had always talk about the boogeyman because he just really didn't like me. I was just biological, so he just didn't like me. So he liked to like mess with me a lot. But so it's like this boogeyman that comes in and just takes you into his underworld from the closet. And like my closet, he wouldn't let me close my closet because I was always trying to close the closet.
Oh my gosh,
'cause he was
dude.
fucking with me, but he wouldn't let me close it. So I would get to the point where I just have to leave it open because like I just couldn't move it. It was like learned helplessness, where like you eventually end up doing something.
You're just like I don't care. I can't do anything.
So I would always just stare at it while I was falling asleep.
They do that with horses. Yeah.
Yeah, I would just stare at the open door while I was falling asleep, just waiting for something to run out and just drag me to hell. Okay.
And then like a hand peeked out one night, and a face.
No.
Peter.
Lois drags you into hell.
Family Guy. No, but
It's
that was
almost time for our green card.
that would still be creepy, okay? No, but so I'd always fall asleep staring at the door. So a lot of my nightmares would start with me staring at my closet.
Oh jeez.
But it created a very intense series of dreams that I'd have like reoccurring like every other night or something like that. Where I would just be sitting there and I would just be staring at it, and then something would like start crawling out. It was like it was never humanoid. It was like always on all fours, and it had like.
That's what I imagined when you said it. I thought it was just crawling creepy.
Yeah,
out
no,
of it.
it was like there's a horror movie called Animal where it's got like like a deformed like deer skull with like hundreds of teeth and weird shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's really furry. It crawls on all fours, and it's got like kind of like reptile like raptor feet where it like comes out, joints down one more, and then juts out. It was fucking weird, but it would always like start crawling out. The first thing I would do is run, and in my dreams I was always like really small, so it was really easy for me to hide under furniture and shit. And it would just be the same thing like every other night. Like it would just be me running through whatever house I fell asleep in and trying to hide under something before it could get to me. That's where I'd have like the door problems where like I try to close the door and the door doesn't fucking work, so I'd be like, and then I would just crawl under like whatever I could get under. Like it was usually a bed or like a couch or something like that. I would just listen to it like crawl around the house like
Oh my god.
with like rapid speed, like sniffing, like, and then like I don't know, some weird shit.
Jeez, dude.
I didn't
Alright.
have any good dreams as a
Yeah.
kid.
That's where we're going to the episode then?
Not yet.
No.
We gotta talk
Okay.
about one last
Oh
thing.
yeah.
One
Oh
last
yeah.
Very, very quickly. Parker made a video.
I made a video.
Oh no.
Put the clip in right here. Put the clip in right here. Epic video, alright guys. How good was that video?
That was an amazing video. It was a very immersive experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an immersive experience. Check it out yourself on my channel, which is linked down below, or through the channels
Alright.
the channels page on our channel here on CopperCast.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cool.
Alright. This has been episode
11. I hope you enjoyed. We sure didn't.
It's a
We
fun
should name
time.
it Fishy Business and Weird Dreams.
Something
Yeah.
smells fishy.
Some smells
I
fishy.
probably shouldn't.
Is it my
scream at the same
dreams?
time.